Hey guys, I'm back with another One Book July update. This is the conclusion and the wrap up of everything that I have learned during the month of July while participating in this challenge. I was using my original Midori in the Pan Am edition for this challenge, and I had to slim down what I usually have in one of my traveler's notebooks quite a bit to fit in there. Normally I carry like anywhere between 4 and 8 inserts at a time, and that includes like the little zip pouches and credit card holders that you can buy from the Midori brand. And I slimmed it down to just being my DIY fish insert and a journaling insert and one zip pouch and a watercolor palette and the credit card holder inside of my Midori. And I just barely squeaked it all in there with minimal overhang, and I also had an adhesive pen loop attached to a dashboard in there. And I learned that I can slim down to just that, but I don't like having to slim down to just that. I learned pretty quickly that I like having a separate insert to use to plan my YouTube videos and any blog posts I may be thinking about doing. So what I ended up doing about midway through the month, I got a personal size Chic Sparrow Mr. Darcy for my birthday, and I actually started getting the inserts that I was going to be using in August ready, and that includes a blank insert that I can just use to draft out blog posts and ideas and such. I also learned that I really miss having a calendar for future planning with just the months in there. So what I ended up doing was I think it's pronounced Marsha Bermucci. I'm probably butchering her name, and I'm really sorry. I bought the digital file that's for July of 2015 all the way up through December of 2016 for the personal size, so I can print that out and get that in that personal traveler's notebook I'm using for August. I also learned that I don't really necessarily like having my journal where I have my planner stuff, but at the same time I do like it because I'm more likely to actually sit down and write a little bit about the day in there if it's there. I also learned that I really miss having my 6 pocket folders from Annika Hanby, so one of those got added back in. And I do not have a zip pouch in my personal size for next month, but I do have a Midori credit card holder. I bought a second one so I could just slice it right on down like Carrie Harling did, and I put it around a few inserts inside that personal size notebook, which I'll be filming a setup of that once I print out that other insert that I want to include in there, and then I'll be uploading that, and probably this, maybe even the same day, but I'm not entirely sure, but be on the lookout for that. Another thing I learned about One Book July, I can totally pull off the one pen thing as long as I have my highlighters. If I don't highlight something important, I tend to forget it, and on top of that, I really like color coding my weekly view in those DIY fish inserts. I don't really know why I like it so much, but it helped draw my attention to, okay, this day I wanted to upload a video, this day I wanted to film a video, this day the kids have something going on, you know, and like my husband's payday never changes, so I really don't need to write that in, but I mean, I like having it there just as a reference. And what you don't always, I don't show it because I don't really do the talking about financial stuff on videos, but I tend to write in how much my husband got paid on the day in the weekly view just for our reference later on, because he doesn't actually get check stubs. It's kind of weird. But I also realized that I miss having a Coletto just a multi-pen. I switch back and forth between a Coletto and a Uni Style Fit pen. They both have their benefits and drawbacks and everything. And I can't tell you which one I like more because I haven't used my Coleto in ages, but I pulled it back out just to see if the inks worked, and they do. So I'm gonna start using that again in August, and that's got 4 of my basic colors that I use for the common color coding thing. I need to add a green in there if I ever get a hold of a green, because I'm gonna start having more school stuff coming up once I get all that figured out. And I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna stick with using only one traveler's notebook anymore for a planner, because once I start school, that's an awful lot to put in one planner. Having school and life and personal and kids just all in one thing, I don't think it's gonna work for me. So I have a personal size fluoro pink original Filofax that I think I'm going to be using for school, paired with a traveler's notebook for note taking. So we're gonna see how that goes. And I don't know, I think the One Book July challenge is really great. It did make me reconsider what I truly need inside of my notebooks, but I also learned that sometimes I like having the extra little frills and everything in there. I mean, it's one of those things where it's to each their own. Like, if you use one planner with only, like, say you use one traveler's notebook with just a planner insert in there, great, that's awesome. I'm so happy that works for you, but that doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for several others. And that's the beauty of planning in general. You can find what truly works for you and just run with it. And you know, that's what I really hope this challenge would help me find, and it definitely honed it down quite a bit for me. And it's just one of those things where I think next year I'm going to participate again. And I think what I would do differently next year, which could obviously change since it's a year away, but I think for next year I might try and cut out like the washi tape and the stickers, since I tend to like to decorate just a little bit, just to see if I can go back to not pretty planning at all. And you know, I probably should have done it this year, but oh well. I didn't want to change up what was working for me too much, since that's kind of the point of the challenge. If something works, don't necessarily completely derail it. But anyway, that's it for my One Book July conclusion, and I'm sorry I rambled a bit, but thank you, and thanks for watching.